Good morning. This is the Professional Amateur coming to you for the NFR Round 2 recap, overview, whatever you want to call it. I do have an update for you on my professional amateurism. First of all, this is like the third time I'm trying to record this because the first time I didn't press record at some point during it. The second time I did it, I went to the computer and it just wasn't there on the micro USB deal from the GoPro to the computer. So we're trying this again. Also, there was a cat in yesterday's video. My son Grayson wanted to come talk. And apparently on my predictions video, I missed giving the predictions for the Saddle Bronc riders. I did make them. I guess I just read over them. I want Ryder Wright to win the world, to win the average, and then Cody Moss to be the guy who I want to win the world. So there's an update on me. I might learn and get better, or I might just stay the same and be my goofy professional amateur self because that's my name, the Professional Amateur. On to round 2, overview, stock name of the night, meat sweats. We've all been there before, stuffed as hell, probably just happened on Thanksgiving. You get the meat sweats. Clayton Bigelow rides that horse for 85 points, splits fourth, shuts me up. More about that later. Side note of the night, Corey Solomon, no doubt the best dressed cowboy and or cowgirl at the NFR. The dude is matching his splint boots, bell boots, his second rope, his shirt, and I think a couple other things, like maybe his reins or something like that, but they're all green. I don't know why he's doing it, if he's just a fan of green, or if maybe he's doing it like, green money, win the NFR kind of deal, but who cares? Props to him because I am not that responsible to match everything, and no doubt looks the best. On to bareback riding. Jess Pope wins again. This is also a night of a lot of underdogs kind of showing up and doing their thing. Not that Jess Pope was an underdog. I just don't think he was talked a lot to win the world. But now he's number 2 in the world, right behind Hoop, who took care of business tonight and is still number 1 in the world. My average pick, Cole Rainier, number 2 in the average. That's right. Casey Field is truly phenomenal. Just rides perfect every time. Hasn't had enough horse yet, but I guarantee he'll probably have 2. Maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing 2 round wins in this NFR. Tim O'Connell is definitely off. Something's off about him. He's rusty, maybe a surgery, whatever it is, just off. He doesn't look as tight as he usually does. I'm sure he'll fix it. I'm sure he'll come back and ride, these next 8 horses as perfect as possible, especially because as soon as I predict something, they shut me up, just like Clayton Bigelow did with his horse, riding 85 points, saying, what the hell, I'm number 4 in the world, and here I am. And then lastly, Cole Franks. He does not care about being a rookie of the NFR. He has ridden the piss out of 2 horses. Good for him. Steer wrestling, Dirk wins again. It's a battle for Dirk and Riley Duvall right now for the average and the world title. I know it's only two rounds in, but you know what? $50,000 is a lot of money. Devers' arm is going to fall off because I just don't know if he can do it. I don't know if he can go all 10 rounds. He looks hurt, and it's bad, and it sucks because I feel bad for him because it's his first NFR. I know he wants to compete, but man, I just don't know if he can do all 10 rounds. Cassidy's horse, Tyson, will be back in round 4. Maybe tonight, but I heard round 4. Wags goes 3-1, breaks the barrier. His barrier looked a little tighter than the other horse. The other ones are kind of bending around. He broke it. That really sucked because I wanted to see that 3 run, and it was fast. Jesse Brown wins money. That's my world title pick. And then Stockton. Thank God he's alive because I don't know if you've ever been on a steer wrestling horse, but they are not meant to stop. He was late, had to ride all the way down to the yellow bucking chutes, hold on to the horn, and pray to God that horse does stop before it hits the wall. Team roping, Big A and Minor, they win. This is just your nightly update that Big A is the best cowboy ever because the dude's horse came up lame before the NFR. He calls his nephew to ride his horse, who hasn't really been to any rodeos, tells Joe Beaver that what's so hard about team roping? The steer leaves, you leave, you rope and go left, and then they just go ahead and win the round and number 1 in the average. So you know what, Derek Begay, just stop being so good, please. Also, I don't think the guy uses a new rope. Like most guys are using like a rope that's maybe like rope 3 or 4 steers, put in the bag. I'm pretty sure Derek's rope does not look that new. He probably used it in the past year just before coming to the NFR. Big misses from Dustin Agassiz and T. Wade. Also, the guy that plays the miss sound like dun dun dun. You're a dick. I know it's your job, but come on, man. Saddle bronc riding, Brody Kress wins. He's heating up, boys and girls. It was the Eliminator pen. There were 5 straight buck-offs, including a couple rookies. They got slammed. The Wright family, I know they're great bronc riders, but gosh dang, they are the best cheerleaders in the world. Every single time the camera goes to Rusty Wright and he is standing up, the guys behind him probably don't even know who those guys are. Like, come on, man, sit down. But there's just no way you're keeping that family sitting down, especially when their family is riding. Chase Brooks, that is another underdog that kind of no one's talking about. Riding really well right now, looks good. And then Zeke has not had a day off with either of his horses, been making him work for his money. Tie-down roping, Shad wins. Best dressed cowboy there gets second. Marty got unlucky with his slack. Tough got really lucky with his net catch, so maybe things will average out for him because he got really unlucky in the first round, really lucky in the second round. Costa goes cowboy and a veteran move, cutting his rope and then still tying his calf. Shad reaches just for fun. He could come into the NFR, round 10, have to be 20 seconds to win the world, and he would still reach just because he's so damn good at it. And then Hanchey's rope, I think Hanchey's rope fell on the neck too, but that's what happens when you're number one in the world. You get a little bit of luck. Barrel racing, Donna K. Rule, my want to win the world, comes back and dominates, wins by about 0.2, which is a long time in barrel racing. Solid runs from Cheyenne, Tanazi, Amanda, and Haley. Emily's horse Chong was no doubt the most well-behaved horse in the alley. Wenda does the dream that I think everybody would want, is to go to the NFR with one and go to 25 rodeos. Unbelievable. Someone told me that, I would tell them that you are a straight up liar. And then Lisa broke either almost broke or broke $3 million. Unbelievable. Bulls, Parker Brennan wins. There's another underdog right there. Not a lot of people have been talking about, just kind of quietly sitting in the shadows. He wins. Sage comes in second. Goes 2 for 2. I just don't see anyone catching Sage. Even with Stetson getting a little money, it's just Sage is going to buck off, man, and it's going to be like that the entire NFR. The bullfighters were busy and badass tonight. Nathan took a bull's head to the chest, knocks him clean to the ground, stands up, and I think that was kind of like his light switch, like, oh, damn, it's NFR time. And then for the second night in a row, JB Mooney is the talk of the NFR, not because of him riding in, but because of what happened last night. Getting knocked out, getting dragged like a rag doll around the arena. Thank God for bullfighters. He's okay. Apparently, I read this morning he only has laceration to his face, probably concussion, but I highly doubt that dude misses any time, because guess what? It's JB Mooney. That's my round 2 update and recap, however you want to call it. Stay tuned for round 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. And guess what, boys and girls? Once again, happy NFR time.